to the most respected and my dear friend and my soulmate, Justice A.H.M.D. Nawaz, and my professor, Dr. Balakrishnan. So I was preparing for IAS. I think he has forgotten. Recently when I met him, I had an interaction with him. So he taught contracts and international law for us. He was one of the outstanding professor, a great human being, and we never met thereafter. Suddenly when we arranged this event, it's all in the global connection. So I am glad to know that now we are partnered and conducted this great event at Tamil Nadu National Law University in collaboration with my professor, where he is serving as the registrar. Thank you, sir. I think I have to inform everyone, then I will go to the topic. Because before that, I want to thank my team because they have organized this within. Can you imagine when it was decided? 24 hours back, maybe probably 2 days. Within 24 hours, they have done this miracle. So, for the tireless effort, dedication, and this is dedicated to them for their tireless hard work and their dogged perseverance. Thank you so much. Then Dr. Maria, she is a psychotherapist who was in Canada, who helps a lot of different able children through a special education. Then Dr. Edward, who himself is a philanthropist, born with dyslexia. He was a great human being by himself, and even now he supports our people in southern Tamil Nadu. This is what the world is all about. We have to acknowledge his service. He has donated more than 15 to 16 crores, about 2 to 3 million US dollars in favor of our people in the southern state of Tamil Nadu. Hats off to you, sir. Thank you. Then, whom I always call him as a adopted father, Mr. Martin, and his beloved sister Philomena. In Tanjavur, he has constructed a dying destitute hospice, again by spending his own earned income, more than 10 crores of rupees. Recently, he has donated for a Catholic institution also, and he is a philanthropist, a great human by himself. And Justice Nawaz had an occasion to inaugurate the hospice at Tanjavur. Then Professor Amruthalingam, the man behind the show. We were as a professor. When I was a teaching faculty at Ambedkar Law University, we worked together. From there on, the relationship is continuing till date. Thank you so much. Then the most admirable man, whom I admire a lot and love a lot, it's none other than Dr. Yelumalai. So Yelumalai is an international law constitutional law professor, overcoming his disability, because I am not aware that today he is attending the event. Otherwise, he is yet another person to receive this award. Maybe, definitely, we have to honor him in the near future. And Dr. Yelumalai, despite being a visually impaired, the only person in India for having completed PhD in law. He received the PhD degree from the hands of the former President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam. When he received that award, immediately he said, Prabhakaran Sir, as a friend, you have to come with me. It happened when Kalam was alive. So we both, he received the PhD degree along with me. In fact, then we had a short interaction with the President, Dr. Abdul Kalam, whom I admire, love and adore a lot. So he has done his PhD on agricultural law in emphasizing and empowering India to the largest extent. Then we have a great personality, that is James Nedumbara. James Nedumbara is a foreign affairs high-level delegate officer, works for the Ministry of Commerce, External Affairs, the National Institute of Trade. I think he came for the conference. Then suddenly my junior Adityan immediately said, Sir, I got in touch with Nedumbara. I informed him about the program and he is interested to come. I said, he is glad to come. I am meeting him for the first occasion. Thank you so much. Then Dr. Sailesh Hadley, we were roommate at Pondicherry. So, in fact, when I struggled on poverty at many occasions, he helped me a lot. In the sense, like, so when I was not having a shelter to reside, when I was about to discontinue my LLM and go back to my native town, he said, don't do that. Continue LLM. I will give you a place you study because you are a topper, ranker in the LLM. We don't want to miss you. So thanks for Dr. Sailesh. Now, by virtue of our relationship and contact, Now he has become the registrar of the Dharmasastra National University. Earlier, he was also a vice chancellor in charge at, whenever he conducts any event at Dharmasastra National University, any international seminar, right from a lovely professional university, he appointed me, after meeting the chancellor, appointed me as a board of director for the lovely professional university. And myself and Justice Nawaz will be the regular guest speaker, visiting faculty at the various universities all over, wherever he went. In Chandigarh, in Justice Sudandara Kumar organized an international conference, we were together. So thanks for the bonding and the loving relationship. Similarly, our friend and Delhi office in charge and partner, Mr. Sumir Chawla. When I was in LexisNexis in attorney, Sumir Chawla was in the HR department. Then we became friends, and COVID period he completed his law. Now after quitting his HR industrial experience for more than 30 years, because he was with the top MNCs, including Thomson Reuters, in a high position as a HR head. He was known as a great HR leader in North India. Now he has entered here. Then our friend, Mr. Govinda Krishnan, Gopi, I fondly call him as Govinda Krishnan. Our relationship also dates back. He is a very, very thick friend of mine and a family friend. He used to call me as his own brother, and he is visually impaired by birth. But overcoming all these difficulties, he has risen to such a level. Now he runs a specially able institution, home, children, empowering and educating a lot of different able children across the state of Tamil Nadu. And he received the President Award medal from both the President as well as from the Chief Minister, both the Chief Ministers. And he stood as a strong supporter at all times. And he is more dearful to me because he is an awardee and he not have to explain in detail. But as a token of gratitude, I felt that this is a great occasion to recall and fondly remember everyone. If anybody asks, is there is a place, heaven on earth, Robin Sharma wrote a book, Who Will Cry When You Die? Everybody after their death, they used to think that what will happen after my death? Will I go to hell or heaven? I am saying that if there is a heaven on earth, this is the place. All the people who are assembled here are extraordinary. It's not about, we could have assembled 2,000 people here, but we don't want to do that. Make it as a memorable, because each one plays a very pivotal role, and very important and dear people have come. That's what life is all about. And if you see the achievers, they are exemplary. They are greater than any achievements done by even a Nobel laureate. After seeing the accomplishments, you'll see that. Then Mr. B.K. Subramanian. B.K. Subramanian is a litigation head, and he is with 30 years of legal industrial experience. When I was an attorney, a lawyer, at a legal officer at Lawson and Toubro, we were together. We had a continuous touch because of his academic acumen and great knowledge and skill. After his retirement, when I invited him to join our firm, readily he agreed, and he is the most enthusiastic young person in our team. So then I should fondly yet another brother, because I am not exaggerating, it's a real fact, Dr. Jabamalai. Dr. Jabamalai got in touch with me recently, 3 years back, through one of my friend and professor named Professor Dr. Gandhi, who is an international scholar, who is a vice president of a Indian Law Institute at Delhi. Because of the event, he couldn't make it out today. And when we were given an opportunity to advise, when the Sri Lankan president, when we had a couple of interactions, he wanted an economic advisor on our board. When I was searching for an economic advisor to fill in the gap, immediately Dr. Gandhi suggested me, because he was a joint secretary of the Ministry of External Affairs in the legal department. He said he took me to his residence. We met him at Kanyakumari. The first occasion, he gave a very beautiful solution, a paradigm solution in solving the Sri Lankan crisis. Thereafter, we also met the president and gave a detailed roadmap plan. And but somehow all the political situation turned out in another different way. And since then, Jabamalai has been, he's an advisor member in our board, in our law firm. And recently, when I was invited as a visiting faculty at Salzburg at Vienna, he took me, I stayed at his residence, and we had a great time, and he is a constant supporter. He said he is playing a very key role, anchoring role in our international legal desk. So Dr. Jabamalai is the one who brought many of the UN people, because he was himself a principal advisor to the Director General of UNIDO. More than that, he also made me to meet the Sierra Leone country president, along with his former boss, Kande Umkala, who was a former Under Secretary General in UN. The president himself had an interaction, 30 minutes. He was highly impressed, and in front of Dr. Jabamale and Kande Umkala said, please use Mr. Prabhakar's talent for all our country cases. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, then Akila, yet another stalwart and a warrior, who is a recipient. She is a President Award Medal winner. Through Bill, she has working as a greatest in a managerial position. Then born to win Sweta, she is a dynamic, terrific woman in the whole of India. She is a transgender gender by herself. She runs an organization Born to Win. She appointed me 10 years back while fighting for some of the cases for the transgender. She appointed me as a brand ambassador for the transgender. So after that, in every event, every occasion, she will make me as one of the main chief guests for all their events. And through her, we have touched the lives of thousands of transgender in helping them. Thanks, Sweta, for giving this opportunity. And she is doing a really remarkable, incredible, wonderful service. Then yet another, the great soul we all have to respect is Reverend Father Thomas, who runs a dying destitute hospice. Because Justice Nawaz, our Lordship also wanted to know, like, who are the awardees and what are the background, to have an insightful on this approach. Thanks, Madam, for Madam Justice Nawaz has arrived here. Yeah. Now, going back with Reverend Father Thomas. Father Thomas runs a dying destitute hospice. It was one of the most fiercely contested cases, not only in India, we can say across the whole of the globe, for doing only a charitable and a humanitarian godly service. When we argued his case, Justice Raja wrote, after hearing our arguments, he is doing God's service on earth. People who are stranded on the street, who do not have food or shelter, who doesn't have any dress to wear, people with a mental illness, he used to rescue them. Once when we were driving on the road, I myself, a naked eye, along with his assistant Alex, saw a person naked without any dress. Mahatma Gandhi said, we all are wearing dress, but we are naked in our thoughts. I would say that those people are naked in their appearance, but they are filled with cloths in their thoughts. So to that people, to that sort of level of people, he used to, like more than Mother Teresa, he runs an organization very beautifully, in an elegant way, in a most admirable way, in 5 places across the state of Tamil Nadu. And he was accused of merchant of death, of killing more than 30,000 people in the state of Tamil Nadu. 16 cases were filed. We fought all the cases. In fact, the cases went on for 6 months. I relentlessly fought all the cases after seeing his noble service in person. Even many of the judges, in reality, they do not know the service that he is doing. Many people think that there is a truth because there is no air without a smoke, but that is a misnomer in his case. So that we have to acknowledge his service, and he is one of the awardees today. And then yet another, our Colonel Vijay Kumar, who served in Indian Army, officer of exemplary integrity with a high professional acumen and knowledge. He has completed his MTech IIT from Madras, the premier institute, and was a Chief Information Security Officer, Tata and Wipro. And now Sir has joined, Colonel has joined in our firm as a Chief Head for the Cyber Security and Artificial Intelligence. So with his professional acumen, and he is also related to Dr. Jabamale. Jabamale is the one, when I said we wanted to have a cyber security AI team, he said he is the right person for you, and he has placed us before us. Then Major Porus, several wars, a war veteran, who does a lot of activity. He is in the advisory for Law. And round the clock, even 20-year youth cannot work like that. At this age, 74, he is like a 14. I get inspired by all this. He works round the clock, day and night, Saturday, Sunday, every day, with bubbling with a lot of energy, enthusiasm and dynamism. And he is our head of operations. So he handled meticulous planning in each and everything that he does. Thank you so much, sir. Then I'll come to all my juniors, including Farid, who does an interesting, and our admin head Meera, who takes care of office in a very most beautiful way, like a mother to all of us. So she, and Madam Roja, who was the associate head for the litigation. Then Balamugi and Lokesh, who are all dear to my heart at all times. And Aditya, everyone, Anand, Bharani, Elil, Joshua, Vasant, and the most Samira, son of Fatima, then Bhavna, Janani, and Afifa. So, yeah, Madhumita is always there. Yeah, Mr. Then Andrew is there, Andrew. And I think Manjula, I think, Mr. Uta. Then Mahendran, yes. Acid test, okay, right. Suddenly. Okay. And most importantly, we should acknowledge and profoundly thank my good friend, and he says, no, I am a brother. Yes, he is also another brother, Niranjan, the consultant. He's a creative by himself. And actually, I did not have any idea to come up with this AV, because I profoundly feel that our service will speak for ourselves and we need not have to propagate what we do. But all of my friends and well-wishers, they make a fierce opposition to my view. They say that, no, you are not exhibiting what you really possess and what you have done. So my friend Gopi himself was advising me to have this AV 10 years back. Many times he brought Niranjan into the main fold. We had an interaction, but I did not show any keen interest in doing this AV. But this time he was fighting with me for 1 week, more than 1 week. And he put up a call when I was in Delhi, when I returned from Delhi on attending a case at Supreme Court. He said, no, this time we are going to make it. Then immediately he said, your friend is talking for more than 10 years, but nothing is happening. I said, we don't want to have that. But he said, no. Then it should be done for a greater purpose. Now I'll come to the main. I will not take much of your time. The main thing, why we have got Lincoln. The Lincoln, because many people inspire us in many ways. The hero, the worship, because Lincoln, certain things we have to, as a lawyer, we have to take a certain extract or leave from certain book. I left out Dr. Veeramani, who is also my good friend, who is a professor at Jamia and PhD in law. He was a friend for more than 10 years, a decade. Now coming back to Lincoln, Lincoln is a great hero. Why? Because in the era when there was no law school, established law school at all, and he did not have any resource or means to enter into a law school. Absolute poverty from a penurious condition with next to nothing, he started his life with something, who achieved the greater thing in his life. And also during his practice, at that time there was no code of regulation or conduct for lawyers. There was no professional conduct. But at this time, he set the standards for lawyers, how a lawyer should behave, how a lawyer should charge from his client. In the sense, Lincoln charged $1 from majority of the clients. His life story says that he has handled 5,000 cases. We took pride in saying that we are close to the target market, but we are nothing in front of Lincoln. But at the same time, Lincoln has conducted 5,000 cases, charging per dollar a day. But he had one of the greatest offices in USA, including his native Illinois, Chicago. How it happened? He had good friends, he had a good librarian, he had a good partners, 3 different interesting partners at different point of time. Though partnership broke, he had a peaceful exit. He paid their due shares and conducted in a very greater and a gracious way. Now when he became a lawyer, he also conducted cases for the big multinational companies. At that time, that companies promised him to pay in several returns, but they refused to pay. But he filed a lawsuit against them. To get that money, he fought a case and won the case, got the money back. So that's how he was doing that. So rob from the rich, serve the poor. That's one of the important ingredients that we had to learn from Lincoln. Second thing, he was also a poor administrator like me to an extent. And he was a good human at heart. And I read an interesting fact that he was having a hat, a big hat. Documentation is very important for a lawyer. If we miss the document, we get into trouble. Of course, in our office also sometimes there are files missing, then it is traced again, and that goes on. So what he did, in order to preserve the client document, whenever he used to keep the document in the hat, so that it is not missed or it doesn't reach the opponent or somewhere, whatever reasons. And he used to change the hat once we missed a document, he got into a bigger trouble. Then when the client was not good at him, when they wrote an angry, ferocious letter, he handled them in a very smart way by a decent, good reply. But at that time, Americans, they did not have an opportunity to enter women empowerment is very important nowadays. At Lincoln days, there was no women lawyer at all. So he did not get a chance to, though he had an idea to empower women, he never got a chance at all. And he was a lover of dog. And when he became the president, to protect the dog, when he wanted to shift to the capital city, he told his assistant, the neighbor, to take care of the dog. And he gave some money and all. Then after his funeral, his pet Fido was through him all throughout his life. We have got a pet dog in our office. And I have named one Shih Tzu brand as a Fido, remembering remembrance of Lincoln. Now, if you enter into see the women lawyers in particular, Sandra Day Conner was the first women associate judge of the Women's Supreme Court, who after a lot of struggle, became a Women's Supreme Court judge. So we have pet another dog. We got another pet dog who is Sandra, in memory of Sandra Day O'Connor. It's a great mark of recognition. So now this is how Lincoln progressed himself as a great lawyer, and he became later on the president, because it's how we carry forward in all the stages. That's all what is important about. Now we have got the judges whom we are associated with. Justice Nawaz, one of the most dynamic, talented judge across the globe, who has got a 3 LLM, who was after academic credentials alone, and for knowledge and integrity and professionalism. So these are the people who constantly engage us and motivate us to achieve some of the biggest thing in life. If you go by the award, as I said, so Lincoln is a leader by himself. We should set a benchmark. Today, when we had an interaction with Dr. Kapila, Mukesh Kapila, he was a great, he's a UN doctor at Oxford and Cambridge. So we are happy to get associated with such people. When he came up to the conference today, he had a long chat with Justice Nawaz and with Dr. Jabamala. He immediately asked me, what are your ambition? Why are you doing all these things? Because he was surprised. Helping all the people, different able. Do you want to become the president, or do you want to become a politician? What is your ambition? I said, I don't have any ambition, but at the end of my life, if I am able to create 5,000 Lincolns across the world in India, that is that, because we need to emulate such people. We need to adore such people, because now majority of the people are sheep without a shepherd. They don't have a proper direction to go and move on. Like Justice Nawaz, Justice Uri, people with Professor Balakrishnan, Professor Elamalai, these people in their walks of life, whoever it is, all the people. That is why this is a testimony, I said. If you take the Nobel Prize, yesterday Mukesh Kapila made a poignant reference that even in Ethiopia, where a person who is responsible for killing thousands of people, a mass murderer, was given a Nobel Prize. If you take a Nobel, the inventor Alfred Nobel, after the dynamite explosion, when that took place, one fine day, an obituary column was written, because they mistook Alfred Nobel to be some other X or Y. They said, no, merchant of death died. He was under huge shock. I thought that I am a greatest able Nobel scientist in the world, but newspapers are writing me as a merchant of death died. And everybody said, that is the reality. People will be remember you only for what you have done. You might be a great scientist, but what you have done is, as a scientist, he never had an intention, because science could be used for any purpose, destructive purpose. So you have done weapons of mass destruction, you'll be remembered for it. Then he thought, no, I shouldn't do this. I should change my thing. What should I do then? Then he said, all the money that I made in my life, after my death, it will be used for a noble purpose. That's why Alfred Nobel name came in the Swedish country as a Nobel Prize. So he said, it should be remembered for all the subjects. So like economics, various subjects. Unfortunately, in the field of law, till date, they are not given a Nobel Prize. So but other subjects, they are conferring a Nobel Prize. I think Nobel Committee should revisit this. I think we should send a letter to the UN as establishing this, making a high, strong recommendation. And another Nobel Committee did a biggest flaw is, because many of the people, they did not get a Nobel Prize. It's not a question of prize. Mahatma Gandhi did not receive a Nobel Prize. He's above all that. Tagore received it. But many people, they might not have been noticed. But what I would say is that we should acknowledge people posthumously also. Sometimes it may not happen during their lifetime. But now what happened after the demise of a person, we should remember, because this is to inspire, because many Nobel laureates have come. Even Ambedkar did not get a Nobel Prize, who is better than anybody else in the world. If you see that Ambedkar, the way, because the success of a person is not measured by the success he make, but amount upon the obstacles he face and he rise. So in that way, if success is measured, you can rank Ambedkar to be the top in the world, equal to Martin Luther King or Dr. Buddha, Lord Buddha, Jesus Christ. He will be ranked as equal as anyone else. Now, with all these things, the Lincoln Global Leadership Award is constituted in order to to make a testimony, to make a mark of remembrance, to gratitude, express the gratitude for the service they have done. All these people, they have received so many awards. Up to the president, they have received. So, conferring this award is not a big thing for us. But as a Lincoln, following the legacy and values, I take the greatest pride in giving them such an award, as they truly deserve such an award. So in our Lincoln, the law chambers, that legacy should not be missed out, because we have got a lot to learn from each and every one of them. All my juniors or all my people, they have to follow, you need to follow certain somebody. As Dr. Edward was making a reference that in a conference, if 2,000 people make an attendance, 100 out of 100, only one will follow you. So out of 2,000, only 20 will follow. That is why Swami Vivekananda said, you give me 100 people, I'll change the destiny of a nation. At that time, India had a 40 crore population. But he made a bet only upon the 100 young men who can change the country. The same way Dr. Abdul Kalam believed in this aspect. So for taking the pain and time, all of you are assembled here with the greatest effort and difficulty. I express my profound thankfulness, gratitude, and let us all do this God's work together to change the planet for a better course of destiny. It may look like a utopian dream, but it's not an elusive dream, it is a real one. Socrates thought about it and wanted to have a utopian society. That society is clearly possible. Dr. Mukesh Kabila said that, so you need to create a forum. He said, I am there at your disposal, he said. The great word he used, such a great person. Who is a professor in Oxford and Cambridge, advisor for WHO, personal advisor for Kofi Annan, who is responsible for implementing all the vaccinations across the globe. He said, then I said, you also have an intention. He said, you have got all the capabilities, your team has got the potential, but only thing what I have found out in the last 3 days is you need an organization to do your dream, realize the goal of dream. He said that organization can be built. We are all with you. You need to form a core team, a leadership team. He said, I will be a part of it. And today itself, before leaving the session, he announced me to be the chairman and CEO will be Dr. Jabamal. That's what he said. So that life, I thought of constituting a life, which means Lincoln Intellectual Forum of Eminence or Excellence. So with the Lordship's blessings, I think I make this announcement. So with every one of us. Now to end, I will often remember the Tagore quote, which should be a lesson for all of us. That is how the world should be. So I will once again recapitulate and end up my speech. Thank you so much. Where the mind is without fear, where the head is held high, where the knowledge is free, where the world has not broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where birds comes out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its extension, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its reason into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward into such a ever-widening thought, into the heavenly, let my father, let my country be awake. And I am always an admirer of Jesus Christ, Lord Buddha, and Swami Vivekananda. The trios, I would say. Liberty, equality, and fraternity. Swami Vivekananda, often, every meeting, every conference, every meeting, that is a mantra in my life which I often kept reminding my heart. He says, feel my children, feel for the poor, feel for the downtrodden, till your heart stops and blood reels. So this is also the mantra of the former Supreme Court judge, a great human being, Justice B.R. Krishna here. So this has inspired many, and I hope Lincoln will inspire many. Lincoln legacy will inspire many. We have to, it's not a question of where he was born, whether in USA or India. India also we have great dynamic stalwart leaders, no doubt. But Lincoln is because the world is a universal planet, it's a one planet. When Thomas Paine was expelled from UK, It is Benjamin Franklin, of seeing his intellectual knowledge, gave a shelter, protection. We talk about human rights protection or extradition, asylum, all these things. He gave an intellectual asylum so that the entire world got benefited from Thomas Paine through Benjamin Franklin, one of the great founders of America. Similarly, we need to follow that. This is a one planet, one earth, one human being, one life. Let us make the greatest possible change. Lawyers are the forerunners, as a Lordship would agree that, because lawyers are social engineers. Roscoe Pound said that. Christopher Columbus Langdell in the Harvard strongly felt about it. Many outstanding judges have done it, and we will continue to do that. We will do a greater things in the near future. We want to establish not only in India, across the globe. In wherever place we establish our frontier, we will work for the poor, vulnerable, and the downtrodden. 30% of cases will be pro bono at any cost. For the differently able transgender, we will also employ them, make them as a better lawyers, so that in the legal perspective, legal dimension, we should do the greatest possible change. Thank you so much.